Hello mummas, welcome to this space. I wanted to bring you guys a quick video about socialization within homeschool because it's something I'm asked of a lot, and I think it's also something that people outside of homeschool often can question you, and it can sometimes feel a little bit stumbling if you feel like maybe you're not putting your kid in enough groups, or you are having a quieter solo life and you might not be able to fulfill their expectations. Now, I think the biggest point I want to bring to you guys about socialization is to look at it differently. To not need to prove to them why it's okay that your child is not in a class with 30 students their same age, and actually bring to yourself and to others another perspective of what true socialization is. Now, if we think through the concept together that a child is socialized if they are 5 days a week with a child of their same age, or often people say, I put my child in childcare because I want them to be socialized, be with many little children every day and not just home with their mum. Because that might be boring, it's unstimulating, it's not educating enough for their little brains. They just won't grow and learn how to be social if they're not around enough people, is what people say, but then really people their exact same age. Now, the concept that's brought me a lot of peace in my homeschool journey is that I've realized socialization is a lot more about my role as a parent and how I guide and teach my children within many different types of social situations, rather than chucking my kid into a group or class of the same age student and then being like, see ya, you'll learn on the spot because you're with kids your age. I think we can all agree the assumption that kids will just become socialized because they're with students their same age is totally false. You can see so many different people out there in society who've all just gone to mainstream schools. If you are shy, you hide away. If you're confident, you might rise up in the ladder. And so many kids deal with anxiety and finish school with such a lack of social skills, such an inability to look at someone in the eyes, speak confidently, know who they are, know what they want, know how to respect people in different social settings or different age groups. So many kids don't know how to speak to someone who is elderly, how to care for a little one who might come up near them. They can have such high levels of anxiety and mental health struggles because although they've been with kids the same age, they have such an inability to know how to function alongside them. And as I've said before, they're either kind of crushed and hide away, or they're lifted up if they have those certain natural characteristics or their family raises them in them to know how to be confident and hold an idea. So what I think is really powerful about homeschooling is that your child is two things. One, in many different social settings with many different aged people. And two, they're constantly by your side, able to be cared for and guided and learn how to speak appropriately. So if a child goes to school, there is many times, which of course they're not always watched. They're with peers, out in the playground, in a classroom where a teacher is just trying to get through everything they're trying to do, which they're amazing. I have so much respect for them. And they're obviously not able to stop every interaction that's negative or bullying, or a child could be guided in how they speak a little bit better. All of that attentiveness is not able to be given. So obviously not every homeschool mum will do this either. It's about your level of parenting and how switched on you are as a parent, which again goes to the thoughts that homeschool kids are lacking in things. It's really about the parenting. If the parenting is great, then a child will be poured into well. Now, I totally credit that a child could go to school and have great parenting and they reach the same level of socialization. I think that good socialization can occur in school and can occur in homeschooling. It's about how a parent teaches. Now, let me give a few examples of why homeschooling is just great. This does happen for school-age kids. It's just going to be happening maybe a little bit more for homeschoolers because you are with them constantly. Now, a homeschool child is going to be socialized greatly if a parent is switched on to guide them in this in all of life circumstances. This could be going down to the post office. This could be visiting a grandma in an old people's home. This could be dropping off another sibling at a person's house or at a group they go to. Each of these circumstances, a child is interacting with adults and children of all different ages. Now, if a parent is trying to teach their child how to be socialized, their role in all of those circumstances is to guide and teach the child of what to do and what is appropriate social behavior in each of those situations. So let's say, for example, you go to the post office and if someone says to your little child, oh, hi, sweetie, you've got nice glasses on today. There's an opportunity for you to teach your child what you think is appropriate in that situation. So it might be to look up and say thank you. It might be to engage back and say, thank you, I also like your hair. It's to leave the place and go, hey, how did you feel that that lady spoke to you? How do you feel when people stop you on the street and say hello? All of that back and forth is teaching your child how to be confident. If your child struggles with friendships and you're going to people's houses and you notice they kind of stay by your side a lot, that's an area where you're constantly catering to them and guiding them how to function in that social setting that they find is difficult. So slowly and gradually pushing them in, like, hey, I'll sit with you, and then mummy's just going to be a few meters away, and all that kind of stuff is what is really guiding them and teaching them. When they speak to an old person, you speak with respect. When a little child comes up to you at your playground, instead of being like, you're a little kid, like lots of school age kids will do, you welcome them in and you know how to say hi and you know how to play with their little toys. Teaching your child intentionally is really what builds great socialization, not just ticking off the box that you've put them with kids of their same age. I hope that's something that can just give your heart some peace in what to do in social settings. And remember that the way kids are socialized now is not how they always have. And it's not how it is all over the world. Some children grow up in villages and they have kids around them all the time, and elders and adults teaching them at all times. Some kids, like 100 years ago, would only see people that they could walk to from their houses, hundreds of years ago, sorry. And so socialization might have been really little. They might have only had their cousins over here and there, or they might have gone to town once a week, and their parents had to teach and raise them how to speak with adults, how to speak with other kids. So don't be fooled that putting your kids in a social situation every single day of the week, which I believe can be incredibly overstimulating to them, is the only way to socialize them. It can be done in that setting and it can be done at home. If you want to talk any more about socialization, write your thoughts in the comments. I've got all my contact details in the description. I'd love to chat to you more.